once again, Strengthen 1. I would like to show you how to do Fight the Storm, which can be done, is usually the first mission that you do, and it can be done in basically any zone. So, as you can see, I have my hero loadout, which I'm using a Stoneheart Pharaoh, so I can use a Xenon Bow. And now let's begin. The first order of business is for me to find the alright, let's start again. Welcome to Strengthen 1's replays. The first thing we're going to do is learn how to do the Fight the Storm mission, which is the easiest one to do right now. Fourth easiest one to do while you are in. Welcome to Strengthen 1's replays. Hang on. Welcome to Strengthen 1's replays. The mission that we are doing today is Fight the Storm. It's one of the easiest ones you can do in Stonewood. I have my Stoneheart Pharaoh loadout. I have my weapons ready, as you can tell by my backpack. And I can't modify them since I'm inside the backpack. And let's begin. I will put this on private because this is a teaching exercise. Now, it's only one atlas. You can do this by yourself, or you can do this with others. There's more than one way to build it. You can do an upside down pyramid or normal pyramid, which is the most cost efficient way in order for you to do this mission in general. Alright, so as my PS4 begins to connect, or eventually finishes, you can do it. Doesn't take that long, but just did it earlier. Here we go. Now this location is in a Power Level 19 zone, or the suburbs. Each mission has their own power level, which is basically your difficulty. And your power level should at least be close to proximity when it comes to how difficult the mission can be. The higher your power level, the easier the mission is going to be. Oh, and as you can see here, we have a sleeping blaster. And we also have other sleeping husks. If you walk by them or shoot at them, they're going to wake up. So, let's wake them up. Or kill them. This is an encampment. What you can do with encampments is basically you just get rid of the husks that are in there, and once you quote-unquote defeat the encampment, you get the rewards that are inside of it, which can range from materials to ores to crystals to traps, or sometimes a mixture of everything else. Now what you can do is you can use a map in order to locate where the atlas is, and I'm still trying to find it. And more sleeping husks. I know how that happened.
Not yet located.
I know.
Help!
Every so often you're gonna have to save a survivor or two, or at max I want to say 4 or 5 per certain missions. So when you're in Stonewood, more likely than not, you'll see the majority of survivors inside buildings. Like so.
You saved my life. Thanks.
once you save them, yep, you get a present. Now the hero that I'm using is a ninja, which does a double jump.
Target located.
And I found the atlas.
Target when you're ready.
So what happens is that you place the atlas.
Bonus challenge is now available.
And sometimes, you'll get that message that says that there's a bonus challenge available.
Add blue glow to the atlas. Open mission control when you're ready to begin.
And what you do first, and primarily first, is just you always build around it. And in this case, I'm using metal. Metal is the strongest material to use. Regardless of any mission that you're in. However, that can depend on what kind of enemies that you're facing, which I'll explain in another video on a later date. And you can upgrade the building material like so. Now, as you can see, they're coming from this direction, which is southwest. And this over here is the spawn point. The spawn point is always represented in these bluish purple in this bluish purple, I want to say call it auras. And they'll come directly at the atlas itself. Now you can do basically anything that you want in regards to how you wish to build your atlas. Because I'm in a little bit of a higher level mission, I might as well just show you one of my primary builds that I like to use, especially for an atlas. Let's see, what it involves is me placing what we call, well, there are three different traps that I'm going to be using: tar pits, ceiling drop traps, and anti-air traps. What I'm going to do is, oh, look, a chest. Maybe I should put a directional up pad up here. Make use of myself. Whoop, hang on. There we go. Alright, there we go. So these anti-air traps here are going to take care of the lobbers, which are the ones that are either currently throwing the beehives, or they're also throwing flaming skulls directly at your atlas. And afterwards, the ceiling drop, or what people call tire traps, they're going to drop these tires. They're just going to bounce around and hit anything that walks under it. Now, for this mission, you know what? Hang on. I can also add defenders as well, too. But what makes it interesting is that you can place defenders basically anywhere you want. Regardless of the mission that you're doing. But if you're a mission with the max amount of players, which is 4, you cannot place any defenders at all. You can only place defenders when there are 1 to 3 players with you. So I can place them directly under here. Interesting, right? It would be even more interesting if I actually was accurate enough to place my defender posts. The defender posts are the only things that you use when it comes to placing defenders. Their ammo is your ammo. Always remember that. You can always give them more ammo. You can give them up to the max amount that you can personally carry. But remember this. At the end of the mission, if you're already at max ammo, you cannot carry that extra ammo that you had given to your defender, no matter what. Alright. I'll place a second defender here. And I'll close this up. And you can always increase the difficulty, but also be aware. As you can see in the active modifiers, I have 3 different ones. Anytime I do your first one is a buff to me. Anytime I do energy attacks, it increases the damage. It increases the attacks. Let's rephrase that. Anytime I do attacks that involve energy, that even includes like my skills. That includes anything with my weapons. You name it. They do more damage, but it doesn't affect traps. The Hussy Huss, Riot Huss, and Exploders will have a time bomb when eliminated. The death bomb, you'll easily hear it. Now, slowing attacks, whenever I'm struck by any enemy with a melee attack, it does more. They make me. This slows me down. So I would have to avoid them as much as all costs. So let us begin. Also, I'm just going to increase the difficulty just to make it a little more interesting.
You got this, Commander.
And as you can see, they're coming. And with the difficulty increase, their level is up to 20. Now, you see the Riot Husk here, right? Watch me eliminate them. You're gonna see the bombs pop up and explode over time. Then the closer you are to them, the more damage they'll do to you. Look at all that. Oh, and as you're also killing more enemies, they do drop loot for you. So in the midst of that carnage, you can walk around and pick it up for yourself, or others can pick it up if you don't beat them to it. Oh, did I forget to mention that the storm is also changing directions? Sometimes the storm will do that. Which means that the spawn points will is what's gonna change. I wish they had worded differently for them to say that the storm changing, because if they said the spawn was changing, then people actually would understand what they mean. But it changes every 2 minutes. So we're at the 5:35 mark, and so far nothing's getting by. So let's take it up a notch. So as you can see, even with, and I really do say even with my defenders not being here, all of my traps are doing their jobs. Let's see what you have. Oh, the sailing drop traps. I can also activate the tar pits. See for yourself. Let's walk up. They eventually get stuck. They get damaged by the tar pit. I'm sorry, they get damaged by the sailing drop. Along with the tar pits. The sailing drop can activate the tar pits. Which makes it easier on you in case you don't feel like using your ammo too much. And again, the storm or spawn point change directions. Now, if you're not seen as this mission is continuing, more likely than not, you're just going to see the husk walk around and will walk directly towards the objective. And that floating beam that blue beam that you see there is a taker, which only goes after the player. Again, it can also go through walls and die in the process. That right there is a exploder. You don't want those specific ones hitting any portion of your objective because they're mostly there to destroy walls. And if you get too close to them, they can suicide themselves. They're the only husk or zombies that can do that. And the final wave is in the northwest. At a weird spot too, apparently. Interesting. Some of them can't even get through it because of that fence. Let's make it easy for them. Oh, there we go. It actually just dissipated. Smashers. What would we do without you? So once he gets close enough, he's going to try and ram the pyramid as quick as he possibly can. And you always want to make sure that they get killed before anything, let's just say, hits the fan. Come on. Now, if your building is somewhat damaged, which mine is currently, you can always repair it using whatever amount of materials that is required. And in this case, it can be, for the time being, it's ranging from about 1 to around 5 or 6. I mean, it's not that difficult of a mission.
30
And as a last hurrah, you can do whatever you want. And for me in this case, I like to bring my hover turrets out. Ta-da!
Nicely done, Commander.
And you also got your badges at the end. And you're all done. And that's my final score. And of course, you can also emote at the end, doing whatever you want. Last but not least, we have the reward screen. Reward screen just basically shows whatever I got in process. That includes any tickets I may have gotten, anything in regards to gold, any XP, you name it. Now, you have your chests, which includes the rewards mainly for the mission. That includes the survival XP I may have gotten earlier, gold, and schematic XP for my weapons and traps. I get an extra gold for doing more of these missions in regards to alert missions that you can use in event store. I got reperk as well, along with the pirate tickets for this event. And last but not least, I got more gold for increasing in difficulty. Alright, and that is the video. If you enjoyed this video and wish to see me post more introductories for Save the World, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope that you have a fantastic day or a fantastic evening. Day-day.